Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Pensacola, Florida, it's time for ITEN Wired Radio, brought to you by IT Gulf Coast, Florida West, and App River.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Keith Hobart here, and this is our first 2018 episode of ITEN Wired Radio, which means only one thing. We're back at it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
To say the least.
The countdown to October.
Yeah. I don't know if we ever really stopped being at it. We took put it down in first gear for a couple months.
Every year there's a break, and every year that break gets a little shorter because every year during that break, we all discover some cool new things that we want to do for the next one. So, and then today we've got Benjamin and Anthony here with us. So welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you guys are having fun so far.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, Coastware Tech.
Coastware Technologies.
Yeah, man. So spill it. What is it?
So we're a IT and software company. We're a pretty new business, but we're climbing the ranks pretty quickly.
So like, what's new? Like last Tuesday or like
last year and a half?
Okay. So you are new then.
You want to introduce them so everybody knows who's talking?
Well, I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Sure. So I'm Ben Avalone. I'm technically the CEO, but we share pretty much all the responsibilities. Right now it's just me and Anthony, but we're going pretty strong. I'm originally from Tallahassee. I came over here. Yeah, I came over here for school and graduated. Was settled in, and Anthony and I started talking, and we both had some skill sets we thought we could put to use out in the business world, and here we are.
Yeah, you liking it so far?
Oh, loving it.
Yeah. Your own hours
it's
and
great.
No stress and take off whenever you want.
Is like 16 hours a day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing is you sometimes hear like, oh, well, you get to be your own boss. You get to work for yourself and everything. And while that's kind of true, it's also
a big downfall.
Well, I feel like we have multiple bosses now.
Yeah.
With now each of our clients is, oh, we need this from you. We need that. Like, okay, let's move forward with that. And that's great and everything. But it's
I don't think that the life of the entrepreneur or the small business owner is portrayed in the honest vision that is enough.
Not always.
Because you're right. People think, I get to be my own boss. But every client is now some form of
they're demanding your attention. They need this as soon as possible. And a lot of responsibility.
Where do you come in the picture here?
So my name is Anthony Gonzalez. I am from New York originally. And
what part?
I was born in Manhattan, and I lived in Queens and Rockaway a little bit.
Okay.
Eventually made my way over to California for about a year, and then ended up in Orlando, and then decided to come up to UWF for college.
Yeah.
Ended up got my degree in finance after about 4
Really?
years. Yeah. So a fun little fact, do IT and got my degree in finance.
Well, I got my degree.
So is it because the brain works the same way for both professions, right? Because there's a lot of military guys too that do IT that are now doing finance that I've talked to, and I just don't understand the finance world. So
it's its own world. But I think one of the things that helped me at least to get into the IT field is I was really lucky when my first year in college I got an IT job at UWF, and so I got to work for their IT department. I got to learn from all of them, and it was a great experience. I spent 3.5 years pretty much just learning from these really intelligent people about how to run a large scale program like that. So, but like I said, Ben and I've known each other for about 5 years now. So we've kind of gotten to know each other pretty well. And I think
you gone through the rough patches and the hammering out details and the things that business partners end up doing. Yeah, so that's good.
Luckily not. Yeah, it's actually been pretty smooth. I think we're both on the same page on a lot of stuff, and we're both very motivated and self-driven. Like we don't have to keep up with the other one and make sure that we're on task and doing stuff. So we can rely on each other. We'll see.
So hopefully it becomes so overloaded that you don't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
So all right. So I want to know. Like you guys say software, you say technology. What do you do?
So for me, particularly, I build websites.
Okay.
They're less of the commercial-facing websites, public, and more of the business websites, I guess, that would be used maybe behind the scenes or maybe just internally within the business.
Sure.
And it's a website that has a database behind it. It's got a nice interface. It's easy to use. It prevents as much as possible and like entry errors, or you can go back and edit stuff. So it's little more a little more going
Proprietary?
on.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more proprietary than just your standard website with a nice page
Right.
and an about section or
Yeah.
something like that.
So you're writing code and all that stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, code, and I'm running servers, and I'm using the Google Cloud platform to host everything, so it's all hosted up in the cloud, nice and fast, and everything.
Yeah.
So, that's
crazy.
in a nutshell.
I'd love to see a whatever scan of your brain when you're doing it, like how it's
How
got to
the
be
brain
crazy.
I kind of would
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I sit there
The way it
sometimes and I
computes,
enjoy
it baffles me. So
It's insane how all of it fits together, and that's part of the reason why I love it so much. Is I'm so passionate about it. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's these machines that we've been building for the last couple decades, 50, 60 years,
Yeah.
that they're so dang powerful. I love being able to control them and make them do what I want them to do.
Yeah.
And
with some numbers and some letters, right?
oh yeah, and a lot of people find that useful.
That's awesome.
So here we are. In
Picture like the
business.
Matrix with all the zeros and the ones running in the background. So, all right, man, what do you do?
So the IT side of our business, we focus on providing IT services for small and medium-sized businesses. So we're there to provide just generic IT support. If you're having issues with your computer, your server, your printers, your employees need like a helping hand, training, anything like that. We also specialize in providing different services. So we do a little bit of consulting with different businesses, trying to figure out ways to help them to go from where they are to where they want to be.
Mhm.
And I think one of the benefits for us is that we're a lot younger, we're a lot newer. We try to think outside the box a little bit,
Mhm.
and there's never a one size fits all solution for one type of business.
Sure.
And I think that kind of helps us out because we're like, hey, you're a business with 5 people, and you're looking at trying to, let's just say, migrate your email services or start using some cloud technology. We can sort of look out there and try to find what's going to be best for them.
Mhm.
Collaborators, huh?
Pretty much.
Imagine that.
And we work together a lot on a lot of projects
Yeah.
too. I mean, we have a few clients that are doing both of our services where we build them this web platform, and we're also helping them out with their IT support as well.
Very cool.
So, first of all, I'll introduce myself.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
the
keep
info.
it about Jim.
As if Jim really needed an introduction.
Well,
So,
there may
and for
be a
those
few
that are
of
on Facebook and live stream,
Hey.
we see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Jim Rhodes. I'm with App River. This is my 6th year leading the planning for ITEN WIRED.
He is the Godfather.
Oh.
He is.
I-
He's modest about it, but he is.
I'm the cat herder.
yeah,
not the Godfather.
exactly.
So, as I've tried to tell people all along, the big misconception is that ITEN actually stands for the interstate out there that runs east and west, and that's not actually it.
Mhm.
It stands for Innovation Technology Entrepreneur Network. So, you guys being entrepreneurs, I'm always curious to hear the story as how things came to be. What is it that you saw out there that made you think there was a need for a company like Coastware in this area?
It's a good question.
So from
Yeah.
my point of view, I've worked in a few companies over the past 6 years. I have experience. I've done a lot of work with different vendors, different support groups, and I've sort of seen the aftermath of things, I guess, a little bit. And I've seen what I can do when given the freedom to sort of start fresh. I've seen what I can do, sort of fixing different problems. And so for me, it was looking at the area. We felt like a few companies could maybe use a little bit of help, sort of going from where they were, because Pensacola has been around for a while now, and a lot of businesses,
Quite a while.
Quite a while.
now.
First one, I think.
First one.
One of the first. Yeah.
But there are a lot of businesses here that have been here for 10, 15, 20 plus years. And, if they're out there and they're doing things, maybe, the same thing they've been doing 20 years ago,
Right.
we want
Haven't
to be there
revisited.
we want to be there to help and sort of help them, guide them to that new level of technology that can help them save money, help them improve their business, help them improve their relationships with their customers, their employees. So all of those things, I think, kind of made me feel confident that we can form a very solid, professional IT and software company out here.
Mhm.
Something tells me you guys can pivot and move very easily within this vertical.
Yeah. I think one of the
Being
benefits,
just two people, right?
One of the benefits of being a smaller company is that we can absolutely do that. Where if we find some new technology or tool, we can just incorporate it right into our business.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through this long process of getting it approved and figuring out. Of course, we've got to figure out the details of how it's.
But whether you can be licensed or not, or be the vendor, you got some flexibility.
Definitely. We're not super locked into any one product or vendor or anything like that.
Yeah. So I don't know how this world works with the software, but like, what's an ideal client for you guys, and how long does it take to
For
put it
me,
together?
So one of the reasons we wanted to work together is my sort of projects are a lot longer. They're a lot higher value, bigger paycheck sort of thing. And
I think he just said he was better than you.
no, not at
Just
all.
kidding.
Not at all. It's my projects are a lot fewer and
Right. Yeah.
further in between. And
High
Anthony-
ticket, long term.
Yeah, exactly. So Anthony's sort of the opposite, where he gets a lot of small stuff, but it's lower,
Energy.
It's just definitely
Gotcha.
not.
No.
No, definitely high energy. It's just it's spread out a little bit differently.
Right.
I mean, I got a call yesterday. I got 3 calls to go to 3 different places all in one day.
That's doing
And
good, dude.
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah.
goes and he's working on with like 4 different clients at one time,
Right.
but that project is spread out over time. And I think
mine span months, whereas
Yeah.
Anthony's
mine
usually
can be
like
just like a one quick.
the
hey,
longer ones are
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
a month or month and a half or something.
Yeah.
So okay, what do I do, and who am I if I need your services?
For me, I guess sort of my ideal client
Yeah.
is a medium-sized business would be a great fit for me. Although I've also done some projects for smaller sized businesses with
Yeah.
maybe less than 10 employees.
Right. What about like 10,000 employees?
Depends on what they want.
Right.
But I could still potentially
Okay.
help them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't turn down 10,000.
Yeah.
Yes, we
That's
can
not-
do
not
it.
immediately.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
a
we
business
can do it.
opportunity
Yeah.
right there.
We
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah.
So,
So I'm okay. So I'm assuming with somebody that needs a database, right?
right.
Somebody
so
that probably needs to house some information within the
data
the
entry
company.
stuff. One of the things I've done, one of the biggest projects I've worked on, doing basically digitizing their forms. So they were
Yeah.
filling out a lot of stuff on paper. They get audited a lot because
Mhm.
they're in a safety industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get audited, they need to be able to go back and find
Sure.
exactly that document
Quickly.
that said, hey, this piece of equipment got inspected and it passed the
Yeah.
inspection. Previously, they spent weeks on doing that sort of
Mhm.
stuff. And now they can go in and they can type the serial number in and there it is
Yeah.
right there.
So industrial, healthcare, things like
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
So the thing that keeps popping in my head is prior to all of this area, I was a chef for Morrison's,
Okay.
and they were owned by Compass Group, which is the largest food service in the world. And
Mhm.
we had Integra and our own back end, and I can't remember the name of it, something cheesy like Computrition or something. but it housed all of our recipes, all of our
Yeah.
conversion ability. It housed all of our order guides, and it was only accessible to us, but it had
Mhm.
all our videos and our training stuff. And so
Yeah.
it was just really like a central hub
Yeah.
for us to get everything we needed to get.
That only used by that business
Exactly.
internally.
Yeah, so that's the
Exactly.
kind of stuff that you guys are
Exactly.
building. Okay.
Right. Right.
So food service companies would be perfect, right?
Sure,
More
yeah.
than one unit, multi-unit.
Right now, one of my clients is they're a manufacturing company. So they assemble equipment
Yeah.
and they send it out to their clients and then they get it back after a couple years and they do maintenance on it and they, have this inspection. Oh, here's who did it. And
Mhm.
so that would be a good example of something else.
Man, you guys picked a really niche market, man.
A little bit.
But
Yeah,
it's out there. I
but-
mean, you got demand for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing good so far. I mean, it's still, in the early days, but we're
You're still
definitely
standing.
looking forward. It's looking good so far, and we're gonna keep running with it as long as we can. So
Do we need one for ITEN Wired that they could do a little demo for us?
We'll talk after the
Yep,
show.
we'll talk. Yeah. The trailer can only go so far.
So, in the process of getting things started, what were some of the hurdles you had to overcome? Did you have any kind of outside resources that you tapped into here in the area that somebody that's thinking about starting their own business could follow along and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, yeah, that sounds like a good idea."
Talked to the Small Business Development Center down here
Mhm,
downtown. That was one of the first places we actually went. We got our once
Business
we had
plan
our
and all that good stuff.
yeah, once we had a business plan ready to
Yep.
go, we met up with them. We've gone to PYP. We've gone to IT Gulf Coast.
try to
events.
talk to as many
Yeah.
people as we can to see how they're running their business or what their business is doing and how that might apply to us.
The UWF Center for Entrepreneurship, that wasn't up and running when you guys first started, was it? Or,
I don't recall
I
going.
remember.
okay,
to-
just curious if you had
I don't think so. That
Called
thing's
on
like
that.
just under a year and a half.
I think
old,
so
just
too.
under.
Okay.
Yeah,
We,
I remember
we
right.
might have just missed that.
So,
yeah.
but well, they're entrepreneur in resident. You guys are going to go see tonight, so you should talk to him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sure he's got to need a database somewhere.
So, give me top 2 things that you shouldn't do when you're first starting out.
Tell your parents.
Don't grow too fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
watched a lot.
I've actually heard a lot of people talking about that. It's the biggest issue with some people, just in different industries, not just IT, but companies just growing too fast
Just in
and they
general,
kind of
yeah.
forget about them. I think that's one of the things that's been helpful, at least especially on our side. A lot of people like that one-on-one communication, that
Mhm.
sense
Yeah.
that you know who you're talking to, you know you're
Mhm.
going to deal with, you know how they're going to solve that problem. And I think that's helped both of us out, especially being local too. It's not like you're working with somebody out in some other, part of the country
Yeah.
or another country altogether.
Although that's a viable option now. I mean, there's a lot of business that comes to Florida
Mhm.
to here, Pensacola, that's done outside of the state.
Mhm.
It's what started this piece, the collab stuff.
Mhm.
It used to be one of the requirements, I think.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
Maybe another the other thing that to try to avoid, I guess, don't feel too overwhelmed. There's a lot of people that can help, and there's a lot of great resources out there. It is very
Scattered,
yeah.
hard to find.
You've got to kind
you
of
got to do a little research.
You do.
You're right.
You
Yeah.
do, but
What
Oh, the
research?
taxes are brutal.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it, dude.
Figure out
Although
some
I
of that
found
stuff,
United
yeah.
Way does free taxes, by the way. There's a pamphlet right there.
Oh, that's cool.
She was just in last week. And I'm like, oh, that's a
Wow.
score, right?
Shout out.
What are some of the resources that you guys used here in town when you were starting up?
So, like we said, the Small Business Development Center.
That's a huge resource.
Yeah, they're great.
I would probably start there if I were
Yeah.
anyone,
Mhm.
because
That
they can
is-
get you to everywhere else.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we-
easy to book an appointment. Just go online and set it up. It took us like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were ready to see us within a week. So
Yeah, and they're objective too. I've noticed that they'll tell you if it's not going to work.
yeah,
which is sometimes what you need to hear.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
that's
Uh,
love.
So what other resources did you guys get into?
Well, we joined a BNI group, the Business Networking
Mm-hmm.
International or something, and that's actually been really helpful, just exposing us to other business owners,
Mhm.
primarily seeing what they're doing, how they
Yeah.
act with their
Yeah, because
business.
you're business to business, right?
Right.
There's
Yes,
no business
exactly.
to consumer. Here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So that's really important for us to know how other business owners think, what kind of stuff they're interested in,
Mhm.
how they talk, how to talk to them.
What type of
um,
problems they're having? A lot.
yeah,
You'd be
right.
amazed how many businesses, like local small businesses, are having the same exact problems,
Mhm.
and the solution might not even cost them anything.
Social
sometimes.
engineering is a fantastic subject. It really is, and I studied it at Florida State in Tallahassee. So
Okay.
it's people watching, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. You have to figure out how to, and everybody's different. So
How do they think? How do I get them to see my point of view? How do I? Mhm.
yeah, so we that's been a theme at I-10 too, was the whole bringing yourself out of just doing the programming or just working on the machines,
Right.
and actually taking it to the forefront of being able to make a sale or relate this kind of language to
Right.
the common man, for lack of a
Right.
better
Oh,
terminology.
absolutely.
Like for you
Absolutely.
to tell me how to do code would be like total Japanese to me,
I can't get too detailed with
Right.
what I do because I'll just lose people.
Right.
And so, but again, that's one of the things that it's helped us a lot, to going to BNI,
Mhm.
going to all these networking events, ITEN Wired. It really helps me to practice and figure out what do I need to say to like get my point across in the
Yeah.
easiest way possible. And that's
Yeah.
can sometimes be a lot tougher than you think.
And honestly, and I've said this before, and just don't crucify me here, but most people just don't care. They don't care. Just fix it. Just
Yeah,
make it
right.
work,
Yeah.
right? Give me enough information that I know you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and the rest is grease on the wheel,
Previous
So,
employers have definitely told me that quite a few times. Just get it done.
just get it done. Yeah.
And let me
I
know
don't
what's
need
up.
your code. So,
Right.
well, you guys have mentioned I-10 Wired and some of the resources through that had helped you along or helped you learn some stuff. What did you guys see last year that you liked, and what do you guys want to see this year?
So
Because we're taking notes.
yeah. Well, you've been 3 times now.
Yeah.
You've been twice, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're seasoned veterans now.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
not noobs. So yeah, but
Well,
don't soft toss it.
I could definitely easily say that it's definitely been improving year over year from when I've been going there.
Yeah.
not that when it started off, it was some small little thing, but you guys keep doing, one-upping yourself every year. So that's really cool. That definitely makes me want to keep coming back.
Can you look in the camera and say that for me, please?
Hope the rest of the team is listening.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, really, it has been really cool going there and just experiencing everything. I really like the breakout sessions. I think the length on those is just about perfect.
Yeah.
It's not too long. It's not too short. You can get enough content in there, but you don't feel like
You're trapped for a day in there.
Yeah, or you're starting to fall asleep, or you're just, my mind's kind of wandering now because you've been talking about the same thing.
It is a long day. I mean, you go the first night, then you come back after hanging out with everyone, go from like 7 a.m., 7:30 in the morning until 5 at night. So but I think honestly, the breakout sessions for me, it's getting to be able to talk to those people afterwards as well and getting their insight onto those discussions that we've had. And we're lucky. So Ben and I usually go to 2 different ones. So we'll try to just get as much as possible.
Maximize our exposure.
In between the time, we'll come back and we'll talk about our experience with it and what we can learn. And even this year, we actually did a whole meeting of like a 3-hour meeting afterwards and after the event. And we sat down like, what did we learn? What did we take away from this? How can we improve our business with that? And
that's an idea. Put something together for them to be able to.
A little debrief.
Yeah, a little debrief session.
That was great for us because it's so much.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
a
a
great
lot
idea.
of
It needs to
information.
be by a bar.
Agreed. We'll just bring the bar to them. How about that?
Now we did do that.
We did like the bar hopping thing at the end.
But
you actually did that?
We did. One of the few people.
Yeah, you're one of the few people.
Yeah. By then we were done, dude. We were like,
going home.
Try something new.
Let me ask you though, because you guys have been to a couple years in a row. Did you like the breakout sessions that were on a themed track, or did you like the breakout sessions that were their own subject matter and you got to choose?
What do you mean exactly?
So last year, the year before, we had entrepreneurship. We had
like dedicated tracks for
cybersecurity.
Okay.
Small.
So all of the breakouts, you could follow that track and get focus on just cybersecurity or focus on just entrepreneurship.
Right.
So, but you probably just went random anyway.
Ours was more of like what we were interested in, what we thought we can get the most out of at the time to help our, I guess, grow our business and ourselves.
Yeah.
But
I was looking at the titles and the speakers for, does this sound like something that I would be interested in, that I want to know more about? There were a couple that it's like, I wish I could go to both of these.
Yeah. And that's usually when we like split up and like,
we've toyed around with the idea of having somebody present more than once just so people could go back and see them if they didn't have the chance to. But, it's limited rooms, limited slots to do that kind of thing.
That would be, logistics on that would be.
Yeah, maybe we're a 5-day event.
They will come.
Yeah, I know. I hear that every year.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things you guys have been doing is was it 5-minute slides?
Ignite.
The Ignite.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, I was so skeptical of that. And
I like
Kelly said, hey, let's just try it out. And that was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever.
2.
And everybody loved it. It's always great when somebody fumbles the ball too. And gets behind and freaks out a little bit.
It's all in good.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Loses their place or their breath. Yeah, it's
or you just skip a slide. You're like, okay, I'll just go to the next one.
Yeah, it doesn't require a whole lot of heavy thinking. You just kick back from it. Maybe learn something new about brewing beer or whatever.
All you have to figure out to do is talk for 5 minutes, which for some people apparently is a challenge.
Exactly.
All right, what do you guys want to see that you haven't seen? Think about some of the other stuff that you've. Vegas or California or what do you see on TV?
Unlimited budget here, but
right. But we want to bring some stuff that's new to not only the area but to the people that have been there before. So let's just pretend you were on an unlimited budget. What would you want?
I'd say I thought the speakers have been really good. The keynotes. What was it? The Walmart.
Adam.
Yeah.
Or Eli.
That was Eli or Eli.
Yeah,
whatever.
Sorry, Adam. I know I keep butchering your name.
He was a really, really great speaker and
homegrown product.
Right. And we stuck around afterward and talked with him, and it was he was very down to earth and very approachable. So that was really cool. And just hearing from someone who been in Silicon Valley, he's had all these experiences, and having him relay some of those
at a very young age too.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Now that's not something that you haven't done before, but I think that's definitely something that I got a lot out of.
Yeah. Any kind of technology that you'd want to see that you haven't seen yet?
Why don't you guys do the cybersecurity thing every year, which is pretty cool.
Word.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know it's prevalent every year, but for me, it's just.
I think by
like
the end,
3, I'm like, I'm over that word, dude.
Yeah.
So anything other than cybersecurity?
There's a lot of that in this area. You have to address it.
So there is a lot. I think
yeah.
it's
Cyber Coast.
yep.
I mean, I know this sounds
The
crazy.
nation's
but
assets. I think it's like 90% or something like that.
Maybe add another day.
Wow. So 4.
Let's just
4
give Jim
days?
some more work.
Yeah, well, I
Man.
hear that
Friday's
every
like
year.
the Friday's like a half, and then the Sunday's like a half. So
Oh, we're talking weekend now.
But you want to go?
Oh, that's a
Sunday.
whole new ball game.
well, no,
right
sorry.
there.
I guess I was thinking
You're
of the
talking
weekend, but
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I guess
Friday?
it is a little harder because it is during the weekdays.
No, it's
But
not really.
I don't know. I guess the more you can get, the better. So
Yeah.
for me, I guess it's just find a way to
Would you be able to take 4 days off of your job to now? And
Well-
granted, you work for yourself, so that's probably going to be even harder than.
Well, it's funny. I think Ben was making fun of me. I didn't really have 4 days off. I was
No,
working. I was
no.
kind of working in between, like getting calls,
Yeah.
every 7 seconds
Yeah.
and putting out fires. So I never really get an off day, even if I'm on vacation. So it's just one of those things.
All right.
That's how it
But
goes.
for everyone else, I understand.
But there's no robotics or there's no platforms or any kind of other programming things that you guys would like to see that's out there,
I would
because I don't know. So
robotics would be cool. I can tell you this. I would actually like to participate somehow in the cybersecurity competition. I've never gotten to. I think one, because it's focused more towards like the students and stuff. And I totally understand that, but
you can go in there and kick a little butt, dude. It's
well,
okay.
I'm too busy.
It's okay.
I'm too busy going to all the breakout sessions and talking to people and
So
learning
that's the
stuff.
thing,
Open
right?
it up
It's-
to the public. Have
You
a
got to
free-for-all.
sacrifice.
Some maybe it doesn't have to be the same level of cybersecurity.
Maybe
whatever,
there's a
but-
portable version that you can take with you.
or like some light version. Yeah,
Yeah, make the app, Ben. Make the app.
That's true. You could code the whole thing for us, and then we're good.
Hey, that works for me.
I like that. Maybe you play it on a smaller scale, so you're not necessarily
Yeah.
stuck.
Or maybe you have the two, where you have the big one, and then
Mhm.
like some smaller one that everyone can participate in easier.
With like Pokemon in the middle of it or something. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Add Cheetos.
Cheetos and Monster drinks.
Cheetos, or
Yeah.
Can't forget
everybody
that.
gets them this year.
Yeah.
There will be no other chips except for Cheetos. And I bought my Chester outfit last week.
Did you really?
Oh wow.
No, but I've been seriously thinking about it.
We have
we
like
could make one.
Have like an orange crush day where everybody wears orange.
That's not
I
bad.
like that. I like that.
We'll just
Orange-
hand out Cheetos to
Yeah,
everybody,
exactly.
and we can run
And
around.
you
with
wipe
the
my
tire.
shirt, nobody will know.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
dude, awesome, awesome. Theme. I like the theme days. Maybe one day is Geeks on the Beach. Maybe one day is
Yeah.
Orange Crush. Maybe,
Oh.
maybe
Not gonna
one
lie,
day's
Geeks on the Beach, best
Bahama
That's
dudes
pretty
or whatever.
awesome.
Best.
You guys like that? Really?
catchphrase.
I have to give kudos to the marketing team. Man, they came up with
That
that,
was
a couple
good.
years ago. They
That
did a
was
great
good.
job on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll bring it back again this year.
Yeah,
Just makes so much sense.
Yeah. Me walking around the beach with my white legs and some shorts on.
Yeah.
Don't forget your knee-high socks. And
I
your
haven't worn
slip-ons.
those yet, but I guess I could this year.
Oh, totally. So that's what I think you should have, like a wacky day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can kick it up a couple notches.
Yeah.
So,
Go all out with the themes.
Might be a
Exactly.
hard to focus.
well, let's get back to your plan, your global domination here. Like,
goodness.
what's next for you guys? Like, what's 6 months and a year down the road look like?
So right now we're talking about so business has been really going well for both of us. We've gotten quite a few clients recently and been really, I guess, pushing up our business. But we're talking about possibly moving closer to downtown.
Mhm.
Good-
Hopefully
good-
looking
good
at,
move.
Getting out of the house.
Get
Good
out of the house,
move.
yeah.
Physical.
Oh, you guys work? That's where.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
that's hard.
But it's
But
good for
it's
our
cheap.
clients because it's cheaper
Yes,
for them.
exactly.
So that's
And
The
there's
one-
always cereal.
Yeah.
The one nice thing about our business is we have very low expenses.
Sure.
We've got to pay for some services and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but
But
we
you're
don't- we don't
mobile
have-
and you don't have to have servers everywhere. And
right. We don't have physical inventory. We don't have products. We don't have that sort of stuff.
it's like
So
thin air,
But
man.
shout
It's
out
awesome.
to Ben though, because he's made a lot of our tools accessible because he's actually built them for us, so we can incorporate that into our business. It incorporates in all of our different processes that we do. So
Build it.
uh,
Oh, God.
that makes it easy. That's actually one of the people we work with in our BNI group. That's like their little
Yeah.
yeah,
little pitch. It's pretty cool. So
Very cool. So okay, all right. So
Future.
expanding. Yeah. You're
Yep.
getting out of the home office, getting into
getting an office
space.
We're looking at sometime relatively soon. Well, our next step, I guess, would be we're thinking about contractors versus employees. We're
Mhm.
thinking we might start off with some contractors just to ease into that, and then make the next step to employees. We've got a lot of projects that we want to work on internally, like for our business. We
on the
mentioned-
business instead of in the business.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, we're not getting paid for it, but it helps us,
Yeah.
cut down on the time we spend doing things or helps us provide better service for our clients. Like, here's an example.
Intern.
We
Yeah, we
didn't
thought
think
about
about
that
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. They help sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's a hard juggle. It really is.
Mhm.
Because that's also, for me, like that's the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
The things that are going to improve my business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I get stuck doing some of the other stuff. And so I can't remember who it was. I think it was Bob Proctor, but he had one of the best practices ever. He grabbed this lady who doubted him for many years, and then he got really successful in what he did.
Mhm.
And finally, she was like, okay, all right, show me how you do it. He was like, I'm only going to show you if you promise me you're going to listen to every word I say. And the first time you say no, I'm out. And she was like, fine. Right. So apparently she was resistant before. So he went down to her office with her, and he literally was like at her desk and all the papers and things that she dealt with on a monthly basis. He said, pull everything out and put it in a stack. So she did. And he said, I want you to go through this stack, and I want you to separate anything that cannot be done by another human being and put it in a pile. And so she went from a stack like, a couple feet tall to literally like 10 pieces of paper. And so from that point forward, he was like, find somebody to do all of this stuff so that you can do this stuff. And then the business went through the roof. So I offered that to you as some advice because I actually just did it recently, and I was like, dude, I really need to start farming some of this stuff out. Right. And so, and then it becomes a matter of what can you afford employee wise, right?
Right.
Or how resourceful are you, and how many interns can you coerce into building into your dream? So, but it's a good practice to try.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. I'll bill you later. So
That was about 45 seconds.
yeah, that's probably 225. Yeah. So, you guys got any events or anything coming up? You guys doing any marketing or things that you're getting out there? You want people to come see you, call you, visit you, website?
Well, come visit us, coastwaretech.com. Definitely, you can go on the website, check out some of the things that we do, some services, a little bit about us personally.
Otherwise, I think we're pretty busy. We've got our hands full with some projects going on right now.
Focusing on the clients right now, making them happy, and once we feel like we always want to keep them happy, obviously. But
are they top secret projects? Like, can you guys not talk about them until they're done, kind of things?
They're just not super. At least for me, it's not
super interesting,
crazy interesting. Yeah, it's just some programming.
Make it up, dude.
Well, hey, I'll do one for me. So we're building a server for a school out here in Pensacola. Getting some laptops ready. They get like 80 laptops that we're going to get provisioned for them. Hook it all up so that way their users can log in automatically, single sign on, all that fun jazz. So we're working on that right now. It should be done hopefully by next week. Working on some IT support for a few clients that we just, hey, anything goes wrong, they can feel comfortable calling us. We help them out. So that's kind of my big project right now. Other than that, we're just working with a few clients, making sure they're staying up and running.
Are there any skill sets out there that you guys need that you don't have right now, as far as contract people goes, or collaborators?
I mean, if I could somehow clone myself, that'd be perfect.
All right. So,
but I don't know.
That skill set looks like what? Insanely awesome programmer?
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. I'm sure there's one or two more out there.
I'm sure there are. It's just, how much are they going to want to work for me?
Yeah.
But that's actually something I'm trying to figure out now and going forward in the future is how do I delegate some more of the work that I'm doing? How do I take a step back? Because my clients, they like working with me. I've been the face. I wear a lot of hats. I go in and I talk to them. I'm talking to CEOs and COOs and managers and whatever, and they're telling me, well, here are my ideas. Here's what I want to see happen. And I make suggestions and I tell them, well, we can do this or we can do that. And then I go back and actually program it. So I guess I just need to find some pieces of that I can break off and
which leads to the ultimate entrepreneurial question, which is how self-aware are you, right? Like, what am I really good at and what am I not so good at? And, who's going to do what?
Yeah.
That's that stack of paper, dude. I'm telling you.
Can't wear the same hats forever or all the hats forever.
Yeah.
So,
You'll wear yourself down.
We're both definitely generalists right now, kind of doing a little of everything. But
jack of all, master of none.
Right. And trying to.
I don't believe that, by the way. You can be jack of all and master of all if you really do it right.
If you put in the time and effort, you can. I feel like I've done pretty well with that, and that I can go into a business and talk to them, and then come back and program it and do the whole interaction back and forth.
Yeah.
But
That's a huge leap, though, man, because to be able to translate this word, don't you think? I mean,
Mhm.
you deal with it every day, don't you? Being able to translate this world to the.
Yeah.
For those that
Sorry.
didn't see Jim's face.
Yeah. It's
Face of fear.
there's definitely a language barrier when
Yeah.
you're talking to the general public.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Some of
tried.
these concepts I can't even wrap my brain around, let
Yeah,
alone
just-
the words.
They know they have a problem. They just
Mhm,
don't know how to tell you about it.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
have to
You have
sit
to
there-
help them.
Yeah, you have to pick it apart, ask the right questions.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
Be
that's
a
me.
really
Connected
good
on.
This is
listener.
not doing what I
Yeah.
expected it to do.
Yeah.
Fix it for me. Yeah.
and sometimes that can be excruciating,
Yes.
long. It's a very long process.
Yeah.
But yes.
All right. Well, guys, we're getting to the end of time here. So,
Okay.
Jim, do you want to? Do we have an I-10 announcement, or are we just gonna tease them a little bit? Build it, and they will come.
Stay tuned. A date and a venue will be announced very soon.
Very
I would
soon.
say by the end of this week.
Okay.
Um,
All information will be on i10wired.com.
at ITENWIRED.com,
Yep.
across our social media channels as well. So follow us there,
Mhm.
sign up for our newsletter, get plugged back in. This is something that's going to be happening year round. It's not just a 3-day event. We're going to be
Yeah.
pumping out information, not just about the summit, but other things going on around our area that, involve
Yeah.
the innovation tech community.
We're gonna
So-
throw the net.
Exactly.
So I can tell them we will be live streaming this year. So
yes.
All
You
right.
can't tell them
so for those across the world that cannot make it to lovely Pensacola Beach, we can meet via video on demand or
Got you
pay-per-view,
covered.
That's gonna
and
be nice.
they'll be able to see some of it. So,
Very cool.
Mhm.
however, you two still better be there.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, definitely.
Physically be there.
hey,
That's
you
right.
tell us the date, we'll buy the tickets.
And let me throw this out there too. You're mentioning about having extra days for the event, and we have explored that idea. We actually tried it a little bit last year. The issue we've got is the time of the year that we have the event. Everybody wants to have it in the fall. It's a great time to be out on the beach. This problem is the capacity is not there to have multiple days like we want to. But one thing that would really help us out for future summits and being able to get those extra dates, get a room when you go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, heads and beds. That means a big deal at the hotel.
Gives us negotiating power.
Exactly. And when they see that people are coming to the event and staying out there, that gives us a little more clout when we go and ask for an
Yeah.
extra day, or we want that Thursday, Friday slot.
Yeah.
That's really
Or when you want
important to them.
Cheetos in your lunch.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't fault them for that. That's their business.
Sure.
Sure.
So when we talk about registering through the site and getting a room, I know it's only a drive over the bridge for some people, but still, I book a room because I don't want to get up at 4:00 in the morning, come out to
Seriously.
the beach, and
Although Jim does get up at 4:00
Yeah.
every morning.
you can
Anyways.
just go out, hang out at H2O for a little bit,
Yeah.
and cruising up to your room and get a good night's sleep, and come right downstairs.
I'm
to
thinking
some
about
awesome burritos.
I think I'll probably do it this year just because hauling all of my gear the day before is not. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you can't leave all of it there in the ballroom. So
Yeah.
And those
So-
burritos were delicious.
They were.
Especially with the
I
rock
agree.
Oh my
the
goodness.
food this year was
Food this
last
year
year
was
was
Oh,
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely a step
Agreed.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
And it helps that you find somebody who wants to take that on, because before kind of fell back on my shoulders and a couple other people. So if you hated your Cheetos or whatever it was you got in the past years, it
Yeah.
was my fault.
Jim's extended food is like Whataburger and KFC.
Yes.
And Cheetos.
Good choices.
So, all right, guys. So one more time, let's give everybody your website and where they can find some more information from you guys.
It's coastwaretech.com.
COASTWARE. Tech.
Yeah, there you go.
Hardware, software, Coastware.
TECH.
Go for it.
ITENWIRED.com.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's it.
All right.
So, and usually I got to come up with a sign off because I have one for Pensacola Business Radio, but for
You
here
got
I
nothing for
don't.
this?
So, guys, you can find all the information that you need on i10wired.com, and then we need a slogan. So, Beth, if you're listening, let's figure it out. Thank you guys very much for coming in
Thank
today.
both of you guys.
Thank
so
you
much.
guys very much.
Yeah.
We try, man. We try, and it's been I10 Wired Radio. We'll see you next time.
This show is brought to you by IT Gulf Coast, Florida West, and App River. If you are interested in sponsoring I10 Wired Radio, please call 850-288-9959.